Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So how would you laugh then?
Yeah,
That makes no fucking
I
sense.
know. But Spanish is very much like about how things sound. Like the onomatopoeia that they do is like really interesting. Like a dog, for example, when you write out
Yeah,
what a dog says, it says wow, 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 like with a G. It's very
yeah,
strange.
yeah. So where are you from, Gillian?
I'm from California.
Yeah, you have a very Californian accent. So where in California are you from?
So I was born in, like, excuse me, got some tea over here. I was born in
I
LA.
didn't plant I didn't plant this at all, but we could put
You know
that
what?
here.
I didn't even think about that. And I was like, when you said the thing with the hair, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's bald.
Well, first of all, girl, you are not bald either. You shave that shit. So, first of all, let's not call, let's be honest. I shave this and
Yeah,
you're not bald either. So,
yeah.
let's just leave it at that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So,
It looks
yeah, so
great
just
though. It looks great.
thank you. Thank you. So, but you're too late. Look, too late already, like ball and chain or like locked down. So anyway,
Um,
yeah. So I just thought I've done a couple of podcasts. I've done a couple of Zoom interviews, but only a few.
mhm.
Most of them, like 80%, were in Dutch. My English isn't that bad, as you can tell. I don't mind speaking in English, or I seem to have a Californian-esque kind of dialect to my English.
Mhm.
But I thought, if we're gonna do it, we might as well do it right. So put on my favorite cap, wearing my favorite T-shirt off my gym, have everything placed that I'm gonna use in the talk about, daily stuff and um, things I think that people can use, etc. Because I just want to thank you. I know this, I'm like jumping from one thing to the other, but I just want to thank you and Wesley and Adrian for being such cool people, sponsoring me with GoPrimal. Because Wesley, who's a friend of mine, who was a personal friend of mine, he asked me only recently, so do you still actually take the products daily? I'm like, never insult me again with that question, because I do take the products daily, because I raced my Ironman triathlon. I raced, I did my training for Jim Jones. I did everything using GoPrimal supplements
Yeah.
every day. And obviously, it's only a drop in a bucket, but it's I'd say it might be like 5% on getting better. But if you do like five things, 5%
Yeah.
that add 5%, that's a lot of difference. So I wanted to have a cool talk with you, and I get along with Adrian. We send each other videos all the time.
Oh, cool.
Instead of like texting each other, I'd be like, just hold my phone and go like, so hey Adrian, how's it going? And blah blah blah. Him and I, or he and I, we we listen to the same kind of music, because I like hardcore music
Yeah.
a lot, which comes from California and
Yeah.
which comes from New York City. But we recently found out we both listen to the same kind of music. And Wesley, who formerly had a big beard, he's a personal friend of mine, and he and I, we used to boulder, like climb sometimes. And so I have so I'm grateful for you for having me, but I'm also very grateful personally to Adrian and to Wesley. And that's why I want to make this something that you can use for content, and also that you're proud of, or you can be like, oh, cool, this is
Yeah.
really something cool that we can use, instead of like just some CrossFit athlete going, I'm taking my supplements.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go lift.
So here's the thing. So I actually, I don't work for GoPrimal. So Adrian and I actually became friends about a year and a half. Yeah, wow, like a year and a half ago. No, like a year ago
Yeah.
maybe. And
Yeah.
and so I'm a nutrition coach, and
Yeah.
our philosophies of sort of like health and wellness and just fitness have sort of gone together really well. I'm a CrossFit level 3 trainer, but I don't coach CrossFit anymore. And so I sort of have,
Don't worry, I still like you, but a little less. But you know, still I like you.
to be
Don't.
fair,
I'm
I do.
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Right. I mean, I don't get offended. I did the level 3 because I basically I set it as a goal for myself and I did it. I don't teach CrossFit anymore. But I try to teach the people that I work with that are mainly just nutrition. I work with them on nutrition, lifestyle, sleep, stress, all that kind of stuff. And
That's
I
cool. I can
yeah, so
appreciate that.
I essentially try to teach them that consistency is key and how to figure out like what their level of consistency is and how to maintain that. And I
Yeah.
think that this, this whole period of time has sort of brought up for a lot of us, like, what the fuck does consistency mean when like they take out, I can't go to the gym, or like I can only go to the store this time of day. Like I'm stuck in my house all day long. And so it's been a really interesting exercise to be like, hey, how do I maintain this type of lifestyle that I want to live to, have the body I want and have the, feel the way that I want and like maintain my health when, there's so many things that are out of my control right now.
Yeah, I really, I can, so I'm a level 1, CrossFit level 1. I did like 6 certification with CrossFit, and then I went into strength and conditioning, and I'm currently running, along with my wife, who's inside, taking care of my dog, Odin, who's a Malinois, and my daughter, who's 3 months old, Aylin.
Wow.
So Sana and I are running our gym, Breda Strength Conditioning, which is on my shirt, like BredaSC.
Oh, nice.
It says
What
BredaSC.
does Breda mean? Does that mean anything?
Breda is the name of the town.
Oh, okay.
It's the best town in the southern part of the Netherlands.
All right.
So
well, I
Breda
guess
is just
eventually.
it's like Los Angeles or like Santa Monica or like
Nice.
like San Diego or whatever. So it's just a town or the city. It's like I think it's like the top 10, in the top 10 biggest cities in the Netherlands. And 10 years ago, almost next year, 10 years ago, I started my strength and conditioning gym in Breda after I deployed to Afghanistan because I was with the 23rd Airborne Marines. I was a Special Forces medic with the Airborne Marines. And when I came back, I got into CrossFit and kettlebells. But just between you and me, and if we touch on it, I'll talk about it. But I thought that CrossFit, especially back then, was lacking a lot in programming and methodology and principles. So when I did like all the certifications that I did, I was like, okay, so but why are we choosing to do this movement instead of this movement, and why are we doing 5 reps instead of 3 reps, or why are we not using time under tension, and why are we not using percentages, and blah 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 blah. So I went on and became a Jim Jones fully certified instructor. Jim Jones is
I know Jim Jones.
Well, Sana and I, we both became a Jim Jones fully certified instructor. I became a top trainer C, which is like a pretty high level strength and conditioning coach within the Netherlands. And then I went to a certified functional strength coach and became a level 1. We were planning to become a level 2 this year, but because of the coronavirus, obviously that's not happening. But I'm a big proponent of Dan John, Michael Boyle, which is all strength and conditioning, unilateral stuff, which I use for my pro triathlete, which I train, who's a personal friend of mine, for my competitive Brazilian JiuJitsu guy, but also for my mom, who is 69 years old, and my oldest member, and also my youngest member, who's 19, who wants to become a sports instructor in the Marine Corps, which I was at the end of my career within the Marine Corps. So we have such a diverse, big group of people that we train in our facility, which is just over 3,000 square feet. So it's a pretty big facility. But I just wanted to tell you that how I went from CrossFit and thought it was kind of lacking in principles and methodology and programming. And then I went on and wanted to develop myself further into strength and conditioning, and eventually did my full Ironman and got married and had a kid. So that's just real quickly what I did. And if there's anything you want to ask me about or talk to, or you want to spar, that's fine. All I want is for you to have a great Zoom interview that you can use. And I know we're not done. We're not even starting to record this yet, but if you want to have me on in another time, that's fine. Whatever you guys want from GoPrimal.
Awesome. Well, I think, it's interesting because I personally, I find really interesting what you said about CrossFit just now. Because I started CrossFit in 2010. I did my first CrossFit.
Same here.
Yeah. So I did
CrossFit. Me too.
I started a really long time ago. And the thing is that I came from a background where like, I didn't really I wasn't a sports kid growing up. I was kind of like chubby and like dorky and just like read a lot of books and stuff. And then I started exercising and I got really into CrossFit. I'm a TRX coach as well. I've taught a lot of kettlebell classes. And what you said about CrossFit is like understanding sort of the why behind the methodology, I think is really sort of when I started to do the study for the level 3. And it was just then I got into it, because I think that that's something that I realized that, now that I know what I know, and it draws me more towards strength and conditioning, or more towards not classifying it just as CrossFit. And so that like understanding the why behind, why do you program certain things? Or like, why do we not use tempo? Like, why are we not doing as much unilateral work is so fascinating. And so I think it would be interesting actually to understand sort of what you see the benefits and the fallbacks to CrossFit being, and then why you see strength and conditioning as sort of the, like maybe the way forward.
I'd love to talk about that. Yeah, that would be great. Just tell me when you want to start the actual thing, but basically, and that's me just sharing this with you, back in, I think 2011, maybe 2012. I'm not sure. I did. So you remember the documentary Every Second Counts with John Wellborn and the CrossFit Games. So I attended CrossFit football seminar, and during that seminar, which was like my 4th seminar that I attended, I did endurance.
It's just all power, isn't it? It's just like
it's power athlete. Right now it's power athlete with Beat a Hammer and all the memes and all that stuff. But before I did all CrossFit stuff, I used to be a triathlete. So I did the World Championship, half Ironman twice. I did my full Ironman. So I always had like was drawn more to endurance stuff. That's why I'm so jacked, and I have all muscles and I have no neck because I'm super yoked. I got in, just like, hey girl, how's it going? So anyway, and I'm on that all carnivore diet and all shrugs and nothing else. No, but I did power. I did the CrossFit football seminar, and that is where I got in touch with strength and conditioning, and I was like, oh shit, this is just the surface. There's like this whole thing underneath about sets and reps and tempo and rest and time under tension and unilateral stuff and rotation, anti-rotation, sprints, all that stuff. I was like, oh shit, it was like, I would just wanted to know more. I was like, oh my God, I'm a sponge. I want to soak up all the knowledge. So that's how I got into strength and conditioning, and it's worked very well. I've trained a ton of people who earned their beret in Special Forces and Army Air Assault and Marine Corps, but also like regular people, just people like you and I that just want to have fun and look good and not be injured and, look great in a bikini. By the way, I look killer in a bikini. So I got
I've heard that
I got a 2-piece that'll knock your socks off.
Bikini season is postponed this year due to coronavirus. So
yeah, I saw somebody post that. It's like, if you see me in a bikini this year, first of all, it's been coronavirus, so mind your business. So my bikini body is going to be next year, planned next year. So I like to eat. Mind your business.
Well, it's funny. It's like all of the stuff coming up is like, so for me as a nutrition coach, one of the things that I work on is like that mentality behind like what your body looks like. And so people are so concerned about, like, oh, I need to eat this way and I need to train this way and I need to get my body to look a certain way. And what I work with a lot of people on is like, hey, like your body can look however you want it to, but if you don't believe it or you don't see it, or you're continually like speaking to yourself in a negative way, then it doesn't matter. You could be a bodybuilder with 8% body fat. And if you don't have the mental game, you're still going to see yourself in the wrong light.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. So we just had like a baby girl, and I was on. Let me just shut off all the notifications real quick because it's annoying the fuck out of me. I was on antibiotics, and we just had our little girl, and I'm still trying to run the gym. So me too. I'm like, oh man, I need to be on this more, etc. So I guess everybody struggles with that stuff, but I guess it's just, what's worse? The fact that you're the fact that you're not eating that way, or the fact that you're stressing about not eating that way?
I think honestly, it's worse to stress about it. And I think the thing is,
there you go. It was a rhetorical question, but exactly. It's like the fact that you're stressing about it, not sleeping well because you're thinking about it. That's actually worse than you having that burrito, or you having that donut, or you having like, it's not paleo. Well, you can spear the donut. Does that make it paleo? You can go ahead and eat the donut you just speared. Anyway, so I think we're on a good track. So you want to start the thing? I'll just follow your lead, girl.
We're here. We're here with GoPrimal and Bite Size Nutrition, who is me. And we are here with Noel. Noel, how do you pronounce your last name?
Brand, Brand, like the brand you can trust.
It's exactly like it looks. Okay, great.
Yes.
So we're here with Noel Brand, who is the owner of Breda Strength and Conditioning in the Netherlands, which apparently is the coolest city in southern Netherlands. So if you guys that are watching don't know about it, I think you should probably go visit him at his gym. And we have just been having a really interesting conversation about strength and conditioning, CrossFit, mindset behind food. And so we figured we might as well start recording some of it. So do you want to share a little bit about 2 seconds about your background and what the hell you're doing here?
Sure. My name is Noel Brand. I'm the co-owner and head coach of Breda Strength Conditioning. I run the gym, who has been up and running for almost 10 years next year. So next year will be 10 years in. It's a strength and conditioning gym. It's about 1,000 square meters, or 3,000 square feet in Breda, the Netherlands. And just like you said, Gillian, it's the coolest town in the southern part of the Netherlands. We have about just a little under 200, I'd say 190 members, ranging in a wide variety. 19-year-old guy named Domingo is our youngest member, and the oldest, or the most experienced member, is my mom, who is 69 years old. And Domingo wants to be a sports instructor in the Marine Corps, but my mom just wants to be healthy and stay out of injuries, or stay injury free, and that's the gym. I used to be a physical training instructor with the Royal Netherlands Marine Corps. I was in the Marines for 14 years. I deployed to Afghanistan in 2009 and 2010 as a Special Forces medic with the 23rd Airborne Marines. After Afghanistan, I started the gym alongside with somebody else. And later on, my wife, who was back then not my wife, joined the gym. And right now we're up and running with cool stuff in our life, a great gym and cool people. So that's about my, that's just about the short version of who I am and what I do.
And I think I don't necessarily want to spend a ton of time talking about the coronavirus, because I feel like people are kind of sick of hearing about the coronavirus. But I am curious to know what you guys are doing as far as on the gym side or on the programming side. Is there anything going on for your members right now, or how have you guys been managing this situation?
Our gym has been around for quite a while, and we put a lot of stock in having a great relationship with our members. Everybody likes to talk about community, obviously, but I'm just going to go ahead and say there's level to this community and commitment and buy-in. And our members, and we've been real grateful with our members back a couple, like almost 7 weeks ago, when the whole thing hit and the gyms needed to be closed. Son and I got on the phone and we called every single one of our members. We called them and we explained what we were going to do and what was happening and how we were still going to add value to their lives with programming, Q&A, webinars, programming at home. We did a sign out so people could come in and sign for a kettlebell, a dumbbell, an elastic band or whatever, so they can use that at home for their workouts at home that we prescribe to them weekly. We have 3 strength and conditioning classes that they can do at home, or they can do through a Zoom call every 10 o'clock in the morning or every 7 o'clock in the evening. And Son and I will be coaching those classes. It's all scaled to what they can do. We have a warm-up, a workout, and a cool-down. What else do we have? We have 2 running programming for running. For advanced runners, people who have been running for a while, but also for like complete beginners who can start with running. And that's the program we do. We have a weekly challenge to get active, to walk around, walk somebody's dog, your own dog, whatever. Also, we do webinars every week on a Saturday. So we alternate. So Sana and I will take a topic and we'll talk about stuff for about an hour. And it's really interactive and people can incorporate that while being at home, doing their strength training, either by themselves or through a Zoom session. They can use the weights or the like the external weight that we provided them. They can use our programming, get them started with running if they're possible to do that, if they're capable to do that, advanced and beginners. And we'll have I would say a challenge with health, mind your nutrition, manage your stress, focus, get dialed in on your sleeping, and then a Q&A where they on Thursday they can send in their questions, and on Friday we'll do a live Q&A on our Instagram, and we'll usually get like a ton of questions. Like half of them are very serious and the other half are like straight bullshit questions that we also answer. And that's basically how we keep people engaged and add value to their lives. So that's a very long answer to a very short question. That's what we do.
Well, honestly, when you said that you got on the phone and called every single one of your members, I got chills, because I think that is a level of dedication that you don't see anymore, where I think that it's very rare to see a gym owner or a gym manager to have that level of dedication to the people that they serve and be like, look, like, this is not only my livelihood, but this is my family. And like, I'm not just going to send my family an email, I'm going to call them. And so that is just like, that's amazing. I absolutely love that you guys did that. And what do you find? So I know that, you're kind of on the side, obviously I'm sure you've been training yourself, but then you're also, this business owner that's trying to keep everything going. So what have you found has been like the biggest struggle for you going from what your routine was before to what you're doing now as both a business owner and an individual? Like, have you had some days where you just kind of wake up and you're like, no, I don't want to do anything? Or are you able to kind of keep your head together?
Well, obviously, I'm kind of like on both. It's difficult because there's like 2 sides to it. Because obviously, I love to train and I love to, I'm more of an endurance guy. I love to do Ironman Triathlons, so full and half Ironman. I only did 1 full, but doesn't matter. I like to do triathlon. I like to run. I also like to use kettlebells or unilateral work, single leg deadlifts, split squats, etc. But I can do that in the yard, so you can kind of see the reflection of the window behind me, or in the yard, or in the backyard. But it just takes for me personally, it's just a little shift, because I can still run on every other day. I can still ride my bike every other day, which is a beautiful 6,000 euro triathlon bike that I can ride like twice. Yeah, it's fancy. I can ride that almost every other day. I can train in the backyard, and it's really easy to if you just stick to the basics, you can still get your workout in. Just a vertical or horizontal push or pull, just a rotation, anti-rotation, just a hip hinge, a knee dominant movement unilaterally. You can get a decent workout in like 20 to 30 minutes if you know what you're doing. But that's me personally. But other people, and as a gym owner, it's different, because I still come into the gym to do to clean the gym, or to right now we're kind of like into remodeling the gym with our offices and our dressing rooms and our showers, etc. So I still need to come into the gym and clean the gym and take care of everything. But when you enter the gym, it's fairly obvious, very obvious, that it's very empty. Because if you have a bigger gym, it's like, wow, this is a really big empty gym. So that really hits you. And as a gym owner, you also, well, I'm just speaking for us, for Breda Strength Conditioning. It's more than just a gym. There's a community there. That's why we called everybody, because a lot of people feel that a lot of their social structure is kind of like dissipating, or like kind of slipping away. And for some people, coming into the gym every other day or every day, it's like a big thing for them. They see the people that they like, and that's the difficult part, because I like to be in the gym. But if I need to, I can just train here in the gym, in my backyard, and run and swim and bike and lift some kettlebells, heavy kettlebells, and that's fine. But for some other people, they don't have that stuff, and they depend, or they like to be in the gym. And that's why I thought that it was challenging, because I can still, you and I could have like a text message like, hey, Gillian, how's it going? What did you do today? You could be like, oh, I lifted this and I ate that and I had fun. But if you're in a gym environment, and if you're the gym owner and you see that other people are really missing the gym, you should add value to the lives of your gym members, because for some people, you don't realize how much it means to some people to have that gym there every day and to be supportive. We have people that broke up with their boyfriend, that moved back in with their mom and dad, while waiting to find a house here in Breda, so they could move back and buy a house in Breda, so they could come back to the gym and train there. So people are buying houses just so they can be close to the gym. So if you think about that, you shouldn't just you should think about yourself, but you should also think about how to improve the value of the lifestyle to the people that come train at your gym.
Well, I think what you said is also really interesting, because I think as people, you and I have spent lots of time in gyms. It's very like normal to us. I think, obviously you as a gym owner, and me having worked in gym and trained for years now. And it's sort of like, the gym is sort of a place for me where it's like, I want to go, I want to work out, say hi to some people, whatever, and then I'll leave. But I think that, sometimes we don't realize how important that gym setting is to the routines of the people that go there. And it's really, it's fundamental, not only to their physical well-being, having a place to train, but it's also fundamental to their mental well-being. And I think that that's what's sort of taken a hit the most right now at this time, is like, in Spain, we're not even allowed to go run outside. So if you were in Spain, you would have to just stay in your backyard. So, I'll often like load up a backpack with a dumbbell in it and just pace on the terrace back and forth, because that's what we're allowed to do. But I think that it's, it's really true that sort of social structure that is the gym exists for so many more reasons than just your physical health or your physical strength. But it exists as it's like the community center upgraded for, the 2000s basically. And so
definitely. I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that it's really interesting hearing all the stuff that you guys have done to sort of keep it going. And so making it that sort of like fundamental part of people's lives, what do you think that Breda has done differently than maybe other gyms? And like, some people say like, oh no, it's because my gym has great programming. It's usually not the programming that sticks out for people. It's usually the people. But what do you think is the difference for you guys? And like, maybe, tell me a little bit about what the programming's like. Like, what does a class look like for you guys?
Yeah, I will. So I like to, I've said this recently in another podcast, and I'm not trying to like brag or whatever, because obviously, as you noticed, I like to talk. So people can kind of find me and go like, hey.
Podcast. If I did my personal podcast in English, I would invite you, but it's in Spanish. So unless you want to learn.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. All I know is like todo el día, and that's about it in Spanish. Like all day. That's it. All I can say, really like a couple of swear words. So anyway, what I mentioned in a different podcast or interview was kind of like, I don't like to say that we're good, because if you're good, you'll tell everybody like, hey, I'm good. Hey, I'm good. Hey, I'm good. But if you're really good, you don't mention that yourself. Other people will tell you that you're good. So that's what I kind of like to use. So what I think we do pretty well is it's not just a programming, because I think if you're a strength and conditioning coach, if you're a CrossFit coach, or a fitness professional, let's just name it, let's just call it that. Mm-hmm. That's like the entry level stuff, is that you need to know your functional anatomy. You need to know your sets, your reps, your principles, your time and attention, time and the load. You need to know about the energy systems. You need to know all the basic stuff to coach people. Mm-hmm. But you can learn about that in a book. But that's the science behind it. That's the theory behind it. But theory and like the actual coaching is like, there's like more to it, and that's the art. So there's the science and there's the art. So what I think we do well is we use what strength and conditioning teaches us, and the science and the continued learning, the continued education. And then what we do very well, I think, is that we know how to coach the people that come into the gym. But they don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. So that's why we called everybody. That's why I want, when you come in, I'm like, hey, how's it going, girl? Hey, your hair is looking great. I saw you dyed it, or you got new shoes or whatever. How are you feeling today? Oh, I'm feeling this and that. And okay, is it because of, whatever? Is it because of your mom, or how's that new job going? So it's not just knowing about sets, reps, rest, performance, and all that stuff, nutrition, sleep. That's the basic stuff. Every good coach should know that. But it's about knowing how to teach that stuff and having actual connection with the people that you train. So that is why we called everybody, why we are invested in the people that are invested in us. Yeah. The buy-in is what is important. So what we did, and I don't care too much about what other gyms do, because I can't control what other people do, but I can control what I do and what we do at our gym. So basically my wife, Sana and I basically went like, okay, if we were members at our gym in this period of time, what would we like being one of the members? And then we thought, well, okay, I'd like to have some gear. I'd like to have programming delivered weekly, so I don't have to worry about my workout, and I want classes to be there during the week, like twice a day. So they're like somebody like trying to get us going, like, hey, don't forget class. There's going to be class, and I want you to be in it because I want you to feel good and stop thinking and get moving again. So that's basically just what we did. And it just, and I have to, in all honesty, I have to thank two of my friends, our friends, Dan Goodman and Joe Riggio from Varsity House Gym in New York, which we are friends with because Son and I are both Jim Jones fully certified instructors. Dan and Joe are also Jim Jones fully certified instructors. And because we did business coaching with them, because they have like $1 million strength and conditioning facility in New York. And we got into the business of strength mentorship with them. They kind of helped us navigate this whole situation with the coronavirus. So I know it's a long-winded answer, but basically we thought, what would we like? And how can we add value to the lives of the people that we are having come in our gyms? And basically over-deliver. I think that's more important than anything. Just over-deliver. People expect this, and you give them this. And they're just like, holy shit, this is amazing.
That is essentially how I like to live my life. Under promise and over deliver.
So there you go.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I wanted to ask you, so before, I think we're getting kind of close to wrapping up, but before we do that, I kind of wanted to ask you personally, what are some key health or fitness habits that you do like every day, or that are part of your routine no matter what, that you think keep you able to stay positive, to train every day, and keep you healthy enough, to take care of a newborn and run a gym and all this stuff? Like, what do you find is essential to your life that you have to do as far as health and fitness?
Well, first of all, we might have to do a second part because I like to ramble on.
I'm cool with that. I think we probably have a lot more to talk about.
Cool. Yeah. I'll take you up on that. I think a good night's sleep is very important. And if you can't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of somebody else, let alone your wife and your kid and the gym and my dog Odin.
How do you get a good night's sleep with a 3-month-old?
You want to know the honest answer?
Yeah.
I use earplugs.
All right. So that's a note.
So my wife, because she's breastfeeding. So my wife breastfeeds our daughter Aylin. So we got my daughter Aylin and my dog Odin. But we got Aylin, and she wakes up maybe like once, maybe twice a night, and Sana will breastfeed her. But because I coach most of the classes at the moment, we have decided that I can sleep during the night, and I'll have like earplugs in. And so I'll get 7 to 8 hours. So I'll just wake up a little bit and be like, everything cool? Yeah. All right. The house is not burning down. Okay. I'll sleep again. And then I'll usually get up. I recently started doing like a minute, when I wake up, take 1 minute, just 1 minute, and be grateful. Just think about, I know that sounds like super hippie-esque, and I'm not like the hippie kind of guy. No, it's not.
There's actually studies that have come out, like scientific studies that have come out, that a practice of gratitude actually changes your brain chemistry, and it can completely set the tone for the day, and it changes the way you view the world, essentially. So I need to double check what I said about the study, but I'm pretty sure I did read that a study came out about gratitude the other day, so I need to look back into that.
Cool. So hey, but basically, I don't need to have a study just between you and I. Other people might put a lot of stock in that. I'm just like, if it works for me, I'll do it. If it doesn't work for me, I'll stop doing it. So I recently started just wake up, just sit up, just focus on my breathing, just like 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out. Excuse me, and then just think about focus on my breathing. What am I grateful for? And it's my health. My wife, my kid, my dog, my gym, everybody, my mom, my sister, just everybody in my life. I'm grateful to have all this, and just relax and try and slow down, because as you kind of can tell, I'm got a lot of energy. So if I can just rein in that energy a little bit and get my mind right, that gets me going. I'll put on black coffee while I walk our dog, our Malinois Odin. And then when I get back, I'll just have my bulletproof coffee, not because it centers my chakras and that bullshit. I just like to have coffee with butter in it because I like the taste. And it's not cool to have Captain Morgan in your coffee at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I can't.
I mean, it's
have
5
Captain
o'clock
Morgan
somewhere, I guess.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's usually 5 o'clock in California when it's 8 o'clock in the morning. But that's usually what I do. And then I will either train myself, I'll go for a run or an interval run, or go on my bike, or do strength training in the backyard, and get that out the way. Or if I have the time, I'll read from the 2 or 3 books that I usually am reading all at the same time, and then do my training, and then I will coach other people. But obviously, I'm not trying to be selfish or whatever. But first, be grateful for what you have. Then, before you get going, you kiss your wife, you whisper to her that she's beautiful and you love her, and everything. And then you walk the dog, make coffee, you train yourself, read something. And then you get after it. So no matter what happens during the day, you're set. You're taking care of yourself, your continued education, your own workout.
I think that what you said is really, really important, is having a morning routine. And it doesn't even need to be something that is like incredibly complicated or difficult to do or even long. But I think just having specific things that you do, and it's really interesting that this is coming up, because I'm actually sending out an email about this tomorrow, and so
put me on the list.
All right,
put me on the list.
I will. Well, if you're on the GoPrimal email list, I think Adrian's going to be sending it out too. But cool. There's, so essentially the making mini routines, like creating mini routines or mini rituals throughout your day for like stress relief and bringing you back sort of to having control over your own actions, and feeling like you have control over the situation, I think is really important. And we don't realize how each, that for you. So having that morning where you wake up, you're grateful for something, and then sort of what your morning looks like, and that for you creates calm. And I think that that's something where people are like, oh my God, everything's out of control. I wake up in the morning and I turn on the TV, or like, some mornings I exercise and some mornings I don't. It's like, look, create something that you can do every single day and start with that.
Yes.
And that will calm you down, that will center you, and then you can take care of everything else in your day. But yeah,
I'd say everything else falls into place if you do that, because the strength training can, especially now, it can be like 20 to 30 minutes and you'll be fine. You got one kettlebell, even if you don't have a kettlebell, you can still run and do body weight stuff. Obviously, it's not going to be as like super varied as in the regular gym, but just get something done. Reading the book, I can do it while I'm having my coffee. I can have the coffee while I'm doing my training. I'll be in the backyard and I'll just sip on my coffee, play with my dog, who's also going to be in the yard after I walked her. And she's going to just walk around, and it's going to be fine. You can do different things, but what you're saying is spot on, because it gives you a little grasp back on your daily planning, and you don't feel like you are being like the pinball in the pinball machine. Exactly. You're just going like, I'm going to do this, and this. And even if I don't get to read, like if I get to read 10 minutes in a book, that's fine. Maybe I'll get 10 pages. Maybe I'll get 5 pages, but at least I learned or I read or whatever. This is what I'm reading right now. And I highly, I put this, it's Marcus Aurelius Meditations. It's a classic. I kind of think everybody should look into this book. Maybe you'll like it, but it's basically, let me just plug this. I have no like stock in this, but it's basically.
You're not sponsored by Marcus Aurelius?
No. Marcus Aurelius does not sponsor me. Also, Marcus Aurelius is super dead.
Oh yeah.
So written in Greek by the only Roman emperor who was also a philosopher without any intention of publication, the Meditation of Marcus Aurelius, who lived in 121 until 180, offer a remarkable series of challenging spiritual reflections and exercises developed as the emperor struggled to understand himself and make sense of the universe. Hey, people, if you don't read this book, that's fine. Think about this. A person thought certain things, and the best ideas that they had in their entire life, they wrote down, perhaps in a book like this, and they shared their best ideas and deepest thoughts with you, and you don't take the time to at least look through the book hey, go ahead and lose my number if you don't like to read.
Well, and I think that something that happens when, especially in a time like this, when where everybody's like super stressed out, and everybody just can't stop talking about the stress. And in the end, what stress comes down to is feeling like you don't have control over a situation. Is you are not going, like, if you feel like you're in control of a situation, it's not going to stress you out. It's when you feel like you lost that control that the stress starts to pile on. And so if there's any way that you can sort of take control, and it sounds like you guys have done that with the gym, it sounds like you do that already, like in your daily life. If you can take back control, even if it's, cool, do something, and something is better than nothing. And I think that a lot of people kind of get stuck where they're like, oh, well, I don't have my barbell, so like I can't like max out my deadlift today. I'm like, cool, do a ton of good mornings or something, or like go find something heavy and pick it up a bunch of times. Like,
or how about this? Or how about just have fun? Have fun moving and walking, or you can do Romanian deadlifts with I don't know,
with
like
your
a
dog,
car battery.
I don't know,
whatever, like a car battery with a fill a sandbag. Make your own sandbag. When I was on my deployment in Afghanistan, we didn't have shit. Just figure something out and make it work, and that's what you and I talked about before we started, like this whole recording. Hey, people, let me tell you something about show business. We were talking before we were recording this entire thing, so I'll tell you about show business. So we were talking about that. What is worse, the fact that you can't lift heavy deadlifts, or the fact that you're stressing out about not being able to lift heavy deadlifts? Spoiler alert, what's worse is you freaking out about not being able to lift heavy. You might just come back to the gym better rested, your nutrition on point, finding a great balance between how to manage stress, and read a couple of books, followed a couple of podcasts, and be like, oh shit, it changed my view on how, I don't know, mind-muscle connection or whatever, breathing. And you're going to come back and you're going to be like, oh shit, I still got my deadlift. It's still pretty decent. So you'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
The human body is resilient, and the human body has incredible muscle memory. And the human body is also a lot more influenced than how we believe by these external factors. Like, if you are letting this situation get to you and letting the situation, and I don't want to say letting, but it's like, if you are not taking active steps towards figuring out how to regain control of yourself, then your health is going to be impacted. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, and like, I can speak from personal experience. I'm lucky enough to have some equipment, but I have two dumbbells, a kettlebell, and a TRX, and a jump rope.
Cool.
And I was checking myself out the other day. I weighed myself. I was looking in the mirror, and I was like, I look exactly the same, or if not better than I did, 6 weeks ago. And it's like, I don't have access to a full gym. I haven't been able to do any cardio. Like, what is cardio even? And it's,
don't talk to me about not being able to do cardio, girl. Come on.
We're not allowed to run outside. We're not allowed to, but I do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's different. Yeah. I get you. Okay. Fair enough.
But I think there's so many people that are stressing, and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my 6-pack, or like, I'm going to gain all this weight. And so like, nothing out about it. They're like, well, I might as well just like go eat cookies. Like, spoiler alert, I've been eating cookies, and guess what?
I feel great.
I feel fine.
So the reason why I was talking about all of this, and especially about this book, and I just finished it today, is I really wanted to tell people to read this book, especially now. And I've read, because I was looking up on some stuff, because I read the book and I was like, okay, so let me try and find out more information about the book. Marcus Aurelius. The fun thing is, because he was a Roman emperor in a troublesome time in his time as being an emperor, it's very fitting to read the book right now with the coronavirus. So I looked it up, and I found on the internet that actually sales on this book are up. And the publication, this is the Penguin Classic. So Penguin publishers were like, we've seen an increase of sales on this book because of the coronavirus. So apparently people are reading about this, and they're like, hey, this is very fitting for the time we're in right now. So that's why I wanted to mention this book about, you know, mindset, and, you know, it's basically like, you'll be fine, you know, don't stress out about it. Obviously, don't be reckless, but, you know, if you can't change the things around you, you can always change how you look at the things around you. So that's basically all I want to say about that.
On the nose, on the nose.
Thank you.
Well, Noel, I think we're probably going to have to do another one of these videos, because I feel like this is, yeah, you're a cool guy to talk to. I think I would like to next time maybe talk a little bit more about like the transition from CrossFit to strength and conditioning, and maybe get a little bit more technical. So I think that would be really, really cool to talk about. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. We'll have to do a GoPrimal field trip out to your gym at some point.
Hell yes. You know, everybody who wants to come into our gym, you know, just get in touch with me through the website, BredaSC.com. That is Bravo, Romeo, Echo, Delta, Alpha, Sierra Charlie.com. So BredaSC, so Breda Strength and Conditioning, SC.com. Just get in contact with us, and I'll give you a tour of the gym. And obviously, everybody from GoPrimal, you're more than welcome. You know, Wesley, Adrian, you, Gillian, you're always welcome to come at our gym and have a great training.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And we will be